Liquidium is an opportunity that you cannot afford to miss if you want to make generational wealth in this bull run. So Liquidium works by borrowing and lending BTC against ordinals or Bitcoin NFTs. So I come on, I lend against an NFT, the NFT moves into escrow, and the borrower gets to keep my Bitcoin for the duration of the loan. Obviously, the risk involved in this is that the price of the asset drops below the value of the loan, and the borrower is incentivized to default on the loan. To combat this risk, the interest rates offered on these loans is extremely high. We're talking like 250 to 350% per year. And if you get a good 350% loan, that's almost 1% per day, which is unheard of in any other asset class. But there's more. Liquidium also has a massive airdrop coming up that looks to be severely underfarmed to me right now. So they've got about $100 million worth of tokens to give out, and there's only about 2,500 people using the platform. So you can do the math on that yourself. Okay, so we're in the Liquidium dashboard right now. You can see it's in beta, but all the features appear to work. So that's pretty good. And we can have a look at my portfolio here. We can see the three options is borrow, lend, portfolio. So we can have a look at my history here, and we can see I've completed 9 loans and I have 4 in progress. And that's moved me up to 860 out of 2,900 for the airdrop, which is really impressive. I haven't really done that much for it. And we can see that the interest earned there is $224, but we've got a couple of big loans in progress that I'm going to show you. So we've got Tiny Vikings. This one is a couple of $100. You can see that 250% yield. So that's really good. And that's doing me like $10 per day. So like really competitive for a small amount of money. We've got the Rune Punks. Now this one's only at 50%. The loan's only at 58% of the value. So we got a good loan there. Again, a small amount of money, but an attractive interest rate. We've got another Runestone, and if I could pick up a Runestone at 0.016, I'd be really happy. And we can see that that's 67% of the value, but I think Runestones are undervalued now as it is anyway. And then we've got a big loan. I made a bit of a mistake with this one because the price is a bit higher at 0.05 BTC and the yield is only 90%. But obviously this asset is more stable, and I've seen the price maybe go up and down like 10%. So some of these are quite volatile, but the thing about it is that we're in a bull run and we expect everything to move up in the next kind of 6 to 9 months anyway. So even if the loan does drop below the value of the asset, that doesn't mean that the asset isn't going to come back up in the future. So we can see my loans here. And obviously I'm planning a couple of more loans as well. I'm not doing any borrowing because I don't want to pay the interest. I want to actually use this as an income of building up interest, and borrowing means I'm going to be paying interest. But there's a couple of uses for the borrowing. Obviously, if you have an asset and you think that the price might go down, then you can lend it out, and if the price drops by more than 30%, then you can just take the BTC and give away the asset. Obviously, no one really wins when the price of the asset goes down. And then we can see the offers tab here. So this is where you're making the offers on the ordinals. And yeah, that airdrop is obviously big news. So coming in here to the borrows page, and this is where you can borrow some BTC. And also if you see like a dip in a meme coin or something like that, and you think it's going to come back in 2x in the near future, then this is a great way to find funds to actually go into that. But just keep in mind, if it doesn't 2x and it goes down by another 50%, you might lose your NFT if you can't pay it back. Obviously, they've got support for runes and BRC20s coming soon. So this platform is really going to the next level. And then we come in here, we can see lending, which is what I'm interested in because I want to pick up NFTs for cheap and I want to generate substantial amounts of interest. So I've got some BTC coming into the system right now. And what I want to do is I want to give a loan against one of these Bitcoin wizards. And coming over here to the PowerPoint slide, I've just done out the figures of a sample loan here for you to look at. So the offer is currently at 0.2 BTC, which is $12,600. And the interest is at a whopping 350%. So for the year, the interest on $12,600 is going to be $44,100 or $120.8 per day, which is, you know, that's a full-time income even somewhere like America, you know. I live in Thailand and that's huge money for here, you know. And the 7-day interest, so the complete interest on the loan will be $845 per week. So you're getting basically almost $1,000 a week for almost nothing. And the price could fall, but you know, there's nothing to say that the price isn't going to come back up in a month. So even if the borrower does default, it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to sell for a profit in the future. And we obviously are expecting a bull run. So that's what we would expect to see from this asset. And if the price of Bitcoin goes up, even if you get less Bitcoin back, that Bitcoin could still be worth more than what you paid for the wizard at the time, if you get me. And then looking at the airdrop, so obviously I'm in the pre-sale as well. I'm not affiliated with Liquidium, but I just want to show you everything that we're doing. So this is the spiel behind the pre-sale, and we expect the fully diluted valuation of the coin to be 80 million when it comes out. And if we can see that there's 2,500 people farming the airdrop and there's 80 million to go between them, then that would be 32,000 per person. So if you farm this airdrop well, you get into the top 1,000 or the top 500. I think it's realistic that you could expect to make like between 5 and 10,000 for your airdrop. And that's nothing to say as Liquidium grows, that this valuation might not reach 1, 2, even 3 billion in the future. So this airdrop is really worth looking at. And it's one of the ones that I'm really pushing to get into the top 500 at least, but maybe the top 100. So my plan is I've got money traveling into my Xverse wallet, and I'm going to come in here and start making bigger loans. I want to get 30,000 to 50,000 US dollars into the system to continually work, and that should generate a full-time income on top of all the other stuff that we're doing in crypto. And I also think that 1 in 10 people is going to default on their loans. So you can pick up the NFTs for like 70% of their value as well. Obviously that's going to be offset by values dropping and the borrowers defaulting. But as I said, this, a rising tide lifts all boats. And I think this is just a great opportunity, especially in the bull run, where you're not going to miss out too much by asset prices dropping. So if you haven't checked out Liquidium, there's a link in the description. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.